Welcome to part 2 of the narcissism analysis on Zanab Jaffries from Love is Blind. So far, Zanab has accepted a marriage proposal from Cole, and they've spent one day together. Zanab has given Cole a silent treatment, mocked him, and criticised him. Now, later that evening, they go to a meet-up with the rest of the participants in the show. Zanab is talking to a woman, Colleen, about her sexual relationship with Cole.
3 last night, twice today.
Lack of boundaries in oversharing and revealing intimate details to both somebody she barely knows and millions of viewers. It also contradicts something she said earlier in the day when she was angry with Cole.
Yeah, at this point, I don't even know if he's physically into me.
This is the compartmentalization of a narcissist. Narcissists need to assert control over people in the moment, and their reality shifts in order to accommodate this. Earlier, when Zanab was playing the victim and trying to elicit sympathy with a pity play, she claimed she didn't know if Cole was physically into her. Now, she's talking to somebody else, and suddenly she's bragging about how they had sex 5 times in less than a day, something that's clearly incompatible with Cole not being attracted to her. I'm skipping forward what seems to be a couple of days, until after Zanab, Cole, and the other show participants have attended a pool party together. It's obvious that the atmosphere between Zanab and Cole has been tense for hours.
How was your pool party? I had a great time till it came down to me and you.
Was all of this because of what I said to you?
Mm-hmm.
You came over, you were swimming over, and you're like, oh, I'm coming over to my girl. Something ridiculous. And then I asked you to rate me.
I was like, you're a 9 out of 10.
Uh-huh.
And then you were like, is there anyone here who you think is a 10 out of 10? I was just like,
Yeah, Colleen.
I was like, maybe one person, which...
No, you said 2 people.
Stop.
Raven and Colleen, which, like, I mean, come on, duh. But still, though, super shitty to hear.
Interrogating your partner, especially in public, shows a boundary transgression and a hypervigilance to threats to control. Because narcissism is a self-defense mechanism designed to maintain control, narcissists are always looking out for threats in a way that may seem paranoid or even insecure to observers. In many cases, a narcissist will fixate on something that isn't actually real. For example, quizzing their partner on whether they're having an affair, despite there being zero evidence for this. However, in this case, Zanab's narcissism has correctly picked up on a potential threat to control. Cole is attracted to another participant, Colleen. In him saying that somebody's more attractive than her, Cole has threatened Zanab's sense of superiority. Nobody can be better than a narcissist. So Cole has challenged Zanab's control and is therefore painted black now, meaning that she must assert control and draw fuel from him. This explains why the atmosphere has been tense for hours. I should point out that I'm not defending any of Cole's actions in this series, or taking his side. I'm simply analysing Zanab.
And I gave you a 9 out of 10. Do you realize I give like 80% of the women in the world like less than a 7? I gave you a 9 out of 10, okay?
A 9 out of 10. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's my fault because I asked you to rate me. That's all on me. Those are just self-esteem issues, babe, that I have to work through. That's fine. It's fine. I'm good.
This might seem like Zanab is accepting responsibility for quizzing Cole, but she isn't. She's manipulating him with a pity play and false insecurity by saying, those are just self-esteem issues, in an attempt to gain sympathy and therefore control and fuel from him. It's actually a subtle way of blame shifting and rejecting accountability, essentially blaming her actions on her supposed lack of self-esteem. Mid-range narcissists often pull this trick, so it's important to recognize it when you hear it. Here are some examples. I just feel emotions so strongly I can't control them. Or, my lack of self-esteem means I lash out. Or, I was trying to drive you away before you could reject me because I think I don't deserve to be loved. Or, my borderline personality disorder makes me act like that. They aren't truly owning their actions, but blaming them on something like self-esteem. We can also tell that this is fake accountability from Zanab because she continues to hold this conversation against Cole into the future, so clearly she does blame him. Cole goes on to explain that him and Colleen don't fit well together personality-wise, and that he's not confused about who he's with.
I agree that it's real. It's very clear, Cole, for me. I don't doubt that there are feelings between us at all. I will be patient as long as there's something to be patient for. I just hope that you respect me enough to tell me when there's not anymore. And if it's something that is not gonna work, then we make that decision that that's not what we're gonna do anymore.
Okay.
Those are my expectations for someone that like I would love and respect.
Zanab says she expects Cole to tell her if he doesn't want to be with her anymore, but being a narcissist, she throws in a manipulation. Those are my expectations for someone that I would love and respect. This is guilting. It's basically saying, if you don't do it, you're not worthy of love or respect. It's down a similar vein to the classic, if you really loved me, you'd pay my car bill. Remember Zanab's words here, because you'll see just how hypocritical her actions at the end of the show are.
I'm fearful. I figure out it's you, and I give absolutely everything I have. And then in 4 weeks, we're just not in the same place. I feel things very deeply, very, very deeply.
When Zanab says that she feels things very, very deeply, this is a manipulation to control Cole. It's a pity play. Again, she's attempting to guilt him into doing what she says and warning her if he's going to say no to getting married at the end of the 4 weeks they have together. Being rejected at the altar would be difficult for anybody, but for a narcissist, it would cause extreme wounding. It would tell the narcissist that they aren't good enough, that they aren't special, that they don't matter. In addition, it would make them feel like they'd lost face in front of others. So like many other narcissists who have appeared on shows like Love is Blind or Married at First Sight, Zanab shows a desperation to avoid rejection, because this would be an enormous threat to her sense of control.
There's a part of me that would wish you would just just be more. It's not even more committed. It's not even more sure me. It's not no.
No, it is.
It's
I know
just,
what you're saying.
I would it's not even me. I'd just love for you to be more on just one person and that's it.
Zanab is already backtracking on her false accountability and is back to criticizing Cole again. This is becoming a circular conversation, a conversation where you keep rehashing the same arguments again and again without any resolution. You think you've made some progress and the narcissist is finally beginning to see your point, and wham, you're right back to the original argument, and it's obvious the narcissist hasn't taken anything on board. You get more and more frustrated, while the narcissist is lapping up the negative fuel pouring from you. In this case, Cole finding other women more attractive was such a big threat to Zanab's control that she must continue to assert control over him, and the narcissism chooses to do this by criticizing him. However, her narcissism is having to balance two things: the need to assert control and the need to retain the facade of being a good, selfless person. So she criticizes Cole with a word salad, a manipulative statement that doesn't make any sense when you break it down. Zanab says that it's not that she wishes Cole was more committed or sure of her. It's not even about her. It's that she would love him to be more on one person. But isn't being more on one person the exact same thing as being more committed or more sure of his partner? And how can this not be about her? Cole is with her, so by definition, anything to do with his partner is to do with her. It doesn't make sense. Although her word salad contradicts itself, it still serves its purpose in criticizing Cole while maintaining her facade and making out like it's not herself she's concerned about. I skip forwards in the conversation slightly.
Do you want me to do that? You want me to say, oh no, you're the only girl I see?
No, I don't, because now, forever, I will always think that's bullshit.
It's not reasonable to ask somebody a question about something they have no control over, such as who they find attractive, then to get angry at them for telling you the truth, and sulking for hours. Sense of entitlement, lack of accountability, lack of boundaries, lack of empathy. Cole points out the ridiculousness of the situation by asking Zanab if she wants him to lie in the future. Now, you won't get a reasonable response from a narcissist in a situation like this. They'll never say, "Yeah, I did kind of put you in a lose-lose situation there, didn't I? Ask a stupid question, get a stupid answer, I guess." A narcissist can't do this because it's giving away control. Zanab is being criticized here and must reject accountability. She uses another word salad. She doesn't want Cole to lie because now, forever, she will always think that's bullshit. So does that mean she would have been okay with him lying to her before? Somehow I don't think so. It's just another word salad trying to shift the blame onto Cole. Her false accountability from before has long since disappeared. Now it's just Cole's fault. Not just now, but forever. She will always think that's bullshit. Notice the melodramatic language and the use of absolutes. 2 more narcissistic indicators. We skip forward to an evening where all the participants in the show are meeting up. Another woman, Colleen, has just told Zanab that Cole approached her and said she was attractive at the pool party. This would be upsetting for anyone to hear, but for a narcissist, it's far worse. In the narcissist's subconscious, a major source of fuel and her possession, Cole, is demonstrating that he isn't under her control. What's more, he isn't giving her any fuel. In fact, he's giving somebody else fuel, and he's reducing her social standing and making her look foolish. To a narcissist, this is a devastating feeling of being weak, powerless, unimportant, and vulnerable, like the world's about to crumble down. The narcissism, being a defense mechanism, steps in to protect the narcissist from this wounding and ignites their fury. This prompts the narcissist to do something to regain control of the situation and gain fuel to repair the wound. In Zanab's conscious mind, she'll be feeling fury at Cole, presumably thinking he's disloyal and disrespectful. She walks over to Colleen's fiancé from the show, Matt. I've skipped ahead slightly in the conversation.
Had she not said shit, I wouldn't have been bothered that your boy felt the balls to walk up to your engagement, as you should have.
This is an indirect assertion of control over Cole, also known as smearing. This is where a narcissist talks down somebody who's considered not to be under control to another person. By this other person agreeing with them, the narcissist feels like they have control over the person they're smearing, hence it being called indirect control. So Zanab needs to control Matt to get him to agree with her. She's trying to provoke him into speaking out against Cole by triangulating him. That your boy felt the balls to walk up to your engaged. It's manipulative. The way it's phrased, you can almost imagine it ending with her saying, "Are you gonna take that?" Bear in mind that a couple of minutes ago, Colleen told Zanab that when Matt first found out about the event, he blew up and they had such a bad argument that they briefly broke up. Now Zanab's here, trying to stir the pot again. This shows her complete lack of emotional empathy. Matt, to some degree, takes the bait and says, "I was frustrated."
We've reached
where you
but
at now?
it's still like a very big problem for me. Like, unfortunately, we'll never look like Colleen. I'll never be the size of Colleen. No, seriously, this has been such a hit on my self-esteem, Matt.
Zanab launches into another manipulation to win Matt over to her side and draw fuel from him. She uses a pity play and triangulation, saying she'll never look like or be the size of Colleen and it's been such a hit on her self-esteem.
You should feel like the baddest,
I know.
and your husband, fiance, should preach you up to be that woman.
Yeah.
You should.
know.
Don't settle for less.
I know.
If this ain't it, don't settle for less. Don't.
No.
Listen,
no.
you're a beautiful woman. Don't feel upset about it.
Thanks.
Don't. You know what I mean?
The manipulations succeeded. Matt shows that he's under control and gives Zanab positive fuel, saying she's beautiful and shouldn't settle for less. This also makes her feel like she has an element of control over Cole because Matt's agreeing with her. Shortly after this, Zanab talks to Cole. She uses extensive manipulations to assert control and draw fuel from him. These are malign manipulations because Cole is currently painted black. I'll point these out. Hopefully, if you're a subscriber, you're starting to pick up some of these yourself when you're seeing them.
I just talked to Matt. I know what you said to Colleen.
I have zero feelings for Colleen.
I don't care at this point.
Dismissiveness and invalidation. It also shows haughtiness. Plus, it's contradictory. She says she doesn't care, but has just been on a massive rant about how this has affected her self-esteem.
Why do you not care? I
No.
am shooting you straight.
No,
There is
I
one
care.
girl
You
in
have
this
affected,
whole thing
you
for me.
have
It's
affected
you.
my self-esteem. I hate being this couple.
Pity play, accusation, and false insecurity. Plus, it's a word salad that contradicts itself. She doesn't care, but she cares that it damaged her self-esteem. Clear?
I hate being this couple.
Well, then don't be this couple.
Cole,
You
said
and I
something.
were good.
Do you agree? Yeah, and we're still great. Do you not think we're great? Do you not think we're great?
Sarcasm and haughtiness. Cole goes on an explanation about how he likes Zanab and not Colleen, and that they've gone over this conversation time and time again. If it's true that they keep having the same argument repeatedly, this is because no argument is ever dead and buried with a narcissist. You may think you've got over an issue together, but then the narcissist will keep bringing it up again and again to assert control over you. Having said that, in this case, Cole is being manipulative himself and trying to deflect from this new information about his behaviour at the pool party, essentially saying, "Yeah, we've dealt with this already, why do you keep bringing it up?" I reiterate that I'm not defending Cole's actions or analysing him in depth, which is why I'm not going to show the full clip of this.
I am attracted to Zay, and I have no feelings for Colleen.
Yeah, I love that whole display.
Sarcasm, invalidation, and haughtiness. I think it almost goes without saying that sitting back, making sarcastic comments, and mockingly laughing at your partner during a serious conversation is not a constructive way to behave. Lack of accountability, lack of empathy, sense of entitlement, lack of boundaries. We move forward slightly.
I'm more attracted to you
This whole party
than I am her now because
I'm
I've gotten
glad.
to
That makes me
know
feel
you.
great.
Zay, I am sorry that this whole thing has happened.
Yeah, I don't think you are, but it's fine. It's fine.
Invalidation.
Matt and I, we were on the receiving ends of what you felt was appropriate to say, and we both got hurt in that. Do not take away from that. Like, I'm on Team Matt with this whole thing.
Triangulation, provocation.
And you're on Team Matt and not Team Cole.
I'm...
Now you've switched sides and I'm a bad guy.
Bro, you said something that was out of line. You did. And this is not the kind of relationship I want with you. So...
Threatened loss.
Go marry Matt.
Go marry Colleen.
Again, this is manipulative from Cole. Zanab responds with a tit-for-tat triangulation. The conversation ends round about here. This wraps up part 2 of the analysis. Please subscribe to my channel for future parts.